Dungeons and Dragons.
And junk drawer.
What's up, everyone? Oh no, I can't hear Pat.
What?
Pat's super quiet again. Can anyone else talk?
Hi, my name's Pat. I play Donner in Dungeons and Dragons and Junk Drawer. Is this a pretty good Pat impression? I think it is.
Keep going,
Go
keep
Giants
going,
and
keep going.
Flyers.
That is my favorite voice in the world.
Also, I have a lot of muscles and marriage.
Marriage.
Yeah.
My arms are mostly meat.
Wait, isn't he still plant-based? I thought you went plant-based for a bit.
Attacked right now. I just ate a cheeseburger. I flop back and forth, baby.
Omnivore.
No, I do enjoy a good plant-based meal from time to time. Shout out tofu spaghetti. That's what's up.
Oh,
Okay.
That's what's up.
it's all
It's
about
pretty
the
good.
meat.
Not always, Carlos. Not always. Sometimes it's the motion of the ocean. Okay.
That doesn't
Seafood?
make sense for this,
No, he's
but
eating
at the same
seafood.
time, yeah, go for it.
I'm allergic
What's
to
up,
fish.
guys?
It's okay.
Welcome
Hi,
back
guys.
to another episode of Dungeons and Dragons and Junk Drawer. Thank you, everyone, for subbing in as me in various forms. That was weird.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, it was so good. Mike, I didn't realize that I had such a deeper voice than, like, you did naturally. So thank you for bringing that to my attention. I'm going to start talking like this.
I mean, to be fair, especially with using a different microphone today because of technical difficulties, your voice actually does sound deeper, and I think it's just the graininess of the sound. So,
Yeah.
Definitely because this headset is not as good as the microphone that I normally use. So, with that, let's jump into some fun introductions and whatnot. Leading off as Pat, playing Alder by Mike. Yeah, put that one together. Mike Spillane, what you got for us, buddy?
that was some Inception shit, and I don't know what's going on, but be sure to follow us on Instagram at The Junk Drawer Show. I'm going ahead and putting up a post right now. Carlos redesigned our cover artwork in support of the Black Lives Matter movement, because that's something that's very, we've been all in very vocal support of. So I definitely want to go ahead and get some attention to that. We also, Pat and I have been trying to do some research. Carlos did another design in honor of the Black Lives Matter movement and also in honor of Pride. We're going to try and get some stickers printed up to see if we can go ahead and try and raise some money for charity. We are just trying to figure out the logistics of it, but if we can, we are hoping to have those out made available later this month. So be on the lookout for that, as it'll be across our social medias as well. Over the weekend, Justin and I started playing a new game that we streamed here on Twitch called Divinity 2. So if you're interested in our D&D content and also interested in seeing what D&D would look like as a video game, you should check it out.
Tight. The man, the myth, the green one. Carlos, what you got, buddy?
That's me. Like Mike said, go ahead, check out the artwork that I've been doing. Not trying to shout out or anything for myself, just because I'm not a fan of recognition for me. I'm more about the movement and the meaning behind it. So if you can check it out, go ahead. If you wish to share it, by all means, please do. Get the word out there. I am very much about equality for everyone, especially minorities and whatnot. So also, I want to give a shout out to Random Encounter Productions, which is the other group that I play with, or you can find them on Twitch at Random Encounter Prod, Prod. I am going to take a slight hiatus from there just for the recent future, just because I am having major technical issues, and we'll see when I play with them next, hopefully sooner rather than later. We're trying to see what we can do to start meeting in person, but it's obviously with especially Florida being now a very hot spot for everything going on, that's not probably going to happen anytime soon. So check them out whenever you're not with us. Obviously on Tuesdays, hang out with us, and every other day, feel free to check them out. If you're not watching either Justin and Mike play, or Justin or anybody else on our channel.
Yeah, those were words that you said there at the end that I am in full support of, I think. Up next, the man with the bun and the beard, Josh Delgado. What you
I
got?
was like, which one?
What's up? I'm just going to do a big old shout out to bureaucracy. Thank you for pushing back my dental appointment another 6 weeks. I hope my teeth don't fall out of my face.
Yeah,
oh, and
okay,
fuck you,
all
Donovan.
right. There it was. That's what I was waiting for. Excellent. And our fearless leader, our faux Matt Mercer, our LaCroix Matt Mercer, if you will, Justin Velez. That's a compliment. That's a compliment.
Is it?
I don't care any way you go. Yeah.
So I'm a muted fart Matt Mercer.
Yeah.
Thanks, man. I'd like to shout out first off Cholula hot sauce because you're delicious. Also shout out to Kez Lounge, Printable Heroes, and I have a bunch of other things that I use. Shout out to Paizo, David Hemingway, of course, Gabriel Picard, and Anosina, which are all really cool content creators that you can find on Roll20. Roll20 is what we use, and it is our preferred method for safe social tabletop playing. If you're looking for something that's high quality, doesn't cost a lot, and something you can get a lot of miles out of, I highly recommend looking any of them up. And yeah, also, like I said, shout out Cholula. Really good.
This week, I'll get back on my spiel of thanking my wife. I'm coming to you guys live from my office that has nothing in it yet, other than the things I need for work. But yeah, thank you to my wife for letting me play pretend with you four schmoes every week for multiple hours on end, now locked in a room by myself. So, you know, togetherness. And shout out to Apex Gym. Thanks for being open so I can work out inside you.
Oh, my.
Yeah, I know what I said.
I'm back at the gym now, too. I'm excited.
Yeah, get it,
Yeah.
girl.
I just had to buy a towel for them, so.
Sorry, you go, girl.
You go, girl.
And with all of that being said, DM, whenever you're ready.
Certainly. Okay, so last time we were all together, Alder was in the clutches of the very intimidating and very large Froghemoth. The rest of the party struggled for a little bit on trying to get Alder out. A few other people got swallowed in, but eventually the four of you were able to take down the Froghemoth. Now, while Thok was looking for his horse Dusk, he found himself amongst two very colorful-looking people. He met Parrish and Durin, two Grung folk, one green, one orange, and eventually met Gava, who is their pink and red leader. Eventually, through some communication, the party received information on Zunu. They found a few things out about him, and eventually were taken back to the Grung village. So that is where we will take it from. Now, the Froghemoth fight was during the evening when the suns were starting to rise. So no one has the benefit of a long rest because you just woke up. So
You made
suck it.
wait. It was in the evening or it was the morning?
It was the early morning, so you can't take another long rest.
I thought it, but wasn't it the fourth watch?
Yeah, at the end of the day.
Yeah, so we fought the battle, and then now the rest of the day happens, so we can't long rest again until nighttime.
That is correct.
Right, but what I'm trying to say is we went through a long rest, didn't we?
Long rest.
Originally, yes.
Oh,
So
you're saying another
beforehand-
one. I got you. All right. I
Yeah, you
understand.
can't be like, I'm going to sleep this off. No sleeping off.
No, that throw off our circadian rhythm.
So let's turn the page, y'all, so you can see all 55 gungs that I had to make and color individually.
Oh, that's not supposed to happen.
That's
What? You're
That's
gone? Well,
I'm coming back.
Okay.
I don't know,
Josh-
the stream looks pretty cool to me.
For some reason, it took me off the screen.
I don't know. The stream looks pretty cool to me. I don't know. We're all here, Josh.
Well, no, I had the stream up, and it literally just like replaced all of our faces with roll 20.
Oh, good.
There's an advertisement for y'all.
Free advertisement because Roll20 owes us.
Yeah, Roll20.
So while Josh is
I'm back.
getting back up, you're back up?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't see
So
you, sorry.
I don't see him either, but that's okay.
I'll refresh.
So the four of you are currently in the larger of the several huts that are here amongst the Grung village. Gava had just left you. Yes, you can point there.
I'm
Gava
doing it for
had
the
just-
audience.
Gava had just left you to go get food for you. And the four of you are amongst this little Ewok frog town.
Wait, so they're frogs and bears? They're both?
Well, you do hear like yub yub, and they do the yub yub song from Return of the Jedi.
Love it.
Yeah, classic frog bears.
Am I right?
Ding, 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 ding.
So,
ding.
yep, the four of you are left with your new knowledge of Zunu, as Gava leaves to go get you guys some food. Hopefully, it's not bugs.
It's probably gonna
Probably
be
going to be
bugs.
back.
I hope it sticks. Alder loves sticks.
We've been over this.
Oh, sorry. Let me say it with more emotion. I hope it sticks. Alder loves sticks, and I wink at
So-
Alder.
There's nothing wrong with loving sticks, okay?
Well, you do or you don't. Pick one.
I
God, you're so confusing.
love sticks in theory. I don't love sticks as food.
All right, so only as drink. Got it.
There's also this bod I've heard of called Sticks, and they're pretty good.
Ooh, can we go listen to them?
Yeah, I think we might be able to go listen to Sticks at some point.
All right, I'm about
Alder,
it.
you take 4 points of psychic damage.
Because,
We're gonna
babe, I
come sail
love
away
you.
together.
So after a few moments of the few of you just kind of sitting
Psychic
there
damage.
of psychic damage, yeah, after Alder gets a really bad headache for some reason, Gava kind of comes back, and there are different foods, proteins, vegetation, and it seems to be warm to an extent that you see, not that you can really see steam because you're in a very humid climate, but kind of when he places it in front of you, you can feel a slight heat coming from it as Gava kind of just sits and picks very carefully and just eyes the four of you up and down.
I'll reach in and just grab something. I don't know what. I'm just going to pick something up.
So you kind of grab in, and it's this very light, fluffy, almost kind of like a grain of rice, like a whole bunch of like maybe quinoa or couscous, all kind of just in one big, dense kind of heap. There is protein in it. You do occasionally crunch as you eat, but the grain is very light, and fluffy, and pleasant. You're just concerned about what's crunchy inside of it.
Just, I'm going to ignore it. It's fine.
I think it's rather good.
And it just sounds like Donner is just crunching a bunch of chicken cartilage, like when you eat chicken wings. So the four of you have your plates in front of you, gingerly picking out, I'm going to assume Alder picking out whatever that protein is
Mhm.
and eating just the grain.
Do I see any mushrooms on the plate? Any sort of fungi?
You see an occasional like mushroom because they are in this climate.
Do they look similar to the kind that I have on the person?
You have several different kinds on your person. These look like a pretty run-of-the-mill swamp mushroom. They look edible. Nothing new.
Okay. But now if I see this mushroom out in the wild, I know that it's edible.
You know, when it's cooked, it's edible, you can assume.
All right. Hey, Gava.
And Gava looks at you as, yes.
I take a bite. I'm a bit of a fungi enthusiast. These mushrooms, do they have to be cooked to be eaten?
They softer when cooked, but could be eaten raw, just tough.
Right, right. So, speaking of mushrooms, since you brought it up, do you know of any that might take me to a new location in my brain.
You are asking if you can eat a mushroom and then teleport your brain.
Yeah, but like, just like the way that I'm thinking, I want to experience the world in a different way. Back where I come from on the mountain, we had these very delicious mushrooms. And if you would eat them, you would, how does it translate? Your third eye would
Trip
open
balls?
up. Yeah, trip balls. Yeah.
Trip balls? Yeah, that would be the way
Yeah, that's how
you described it
that's
where
the,
I'm from.
That's the direct translation in common, but
So you seek enlightenment, third eye like Zunu.
yeah, but without all the evil stuff.
Don't know of mushroom that do that.
All right. Well, I'll keep looking, and then I just start eating again.
Okay.
Just so I'll kind of jump in. So, about how far are we away from Zunu right now?
About day or two. But if you know we're going, you mention travel fast. No?
I look at Alder.
Oh, yeah, the guy that's like picking the bugs or whatever this protein substance is, he's the one that can make us go faster.
Okay. So you can make faster as he kind of points a webbed three-fingered hand over at you, Alder, as he kind of gestures.
Yeah, that's correct. But I thought you said that would be dangerous.
It'd be dangerous, but Zunu dangerous. Up to you.
So basically saying that if we walk in there, we might be screwed, versus if we fly in there, we might be screwed.
Sounds
Either
like we're going to
or.
be screwed.
I'm just trying to make sure that I'm understanding what you're saying in this instance, because, I mean, we have to get there, we have to talk to him, and we have to figure things out. But I'm just, I get, me, I get a little fidgety and a little panicky, and I'm just kind of worried.
Why you eye twitch?
It's a thing that I do, and I kind of can't control it.
He loves when you point it out, though.
Yep, super great, feeling awesome.
Hey, if you look at his hands right now too, they're like really sweaty. It's funny.
You should have
And he
seen last week. His
opened
whole
his
head
hand
was
and,
twitched.
like, his whole head twitch.
Well,
Why?
it's kind of like that.
Why his head twitch? Why he nervous that much?
I don't know, Alder. Why were you so nervous?
I don't know. We were kind of having it out as a group, weren't we? So
Yeah, we're scared.
was it a
of
great
people.
time?
And he looks over at Thok. You very quiet.
I'm just like eating. Yeah, I'm like, I look at Alder. I'm like, oh, sorry. I was like, you're gonna eat that, and I'm gonna reach over and I'm gonna pick whatever he's picking out and start eating it.
Yeah, go for it, big guy.
I wouldn't say it's seasoned like amazingly, but there's some flavor to it. Kind of when you crunch, occasionally you'll get a burst of something. But it's satisfying. It's filling you up fairly well.
Not bad.
So
yeah.
when we can leave after this is breakfast, I assume. So we can kind of just get on our way after that. Would you say we'd be better off flying in or walking?
Well, how does magic work? You know where you're going, or you pick leader and they go?
Oh no, you're in control of where you go. You just kind of turn into a cloud,
Cloud.
fluffy thing in the sky.
I know what cloud is. More
I
trying to
didn't know.
figure out making all us one cloud.
Maybe
No, you're your own cloud.
maybe we should let Alder explain the intricacies of his own magic.
Yeah, I was gonna say that, but I was just kind of enjoying this happening. Yeah, so basically what'll happen is we kind of assume a gaseous form, and then
Wow.
fly like the wind to our destination, which is basically at a rapid pace. Like, if you could tell me about like how far, as far as the distance it is from here, I could probably give you an idea of how quick it would take us to get there.
Well, I know where to go. I've only seen entrance once, underground. But
Then we're not gonna fly there. Sorry. Knowing where we're going only once, I don't think it's a good idea.
What if we just like flew over and then kind of dove out of the sky
like bird.
like bird? Yeah. Like
I
how
mean,
how underground
out
is it?
there. I don't know. Haven't been inside. I see door, but Mighty Warrior go in. Warrior do not come out.
But like, how long did you wait for him to come out?
Today.
Yeah, he could have came out like right after that. You don't know. Maybe he stayed over, had a slumber party, or
Like a long weekend.
yeah.
It's called
see?
the siesta.
That's probably what it's called.
Usually
like
get
that.
bored of long weekend after like week, and then you want go home.
I mean, maybe not. Maybe he was just having a great time and decided to live with Zunu.
And
Maybe
he-
Zunu just harbors like warriors, and he just keeps them in his place, and they just train each other all the time.
Yeah.
You optimistic. And he kind of leans his cane on his shoulder as he kind of sits and listens to you talking as he contemplates.
I mean, I can check in on him if you happen to have a crystal ball or a silver mirror that costs 100 gold pieces. Or 1,000 gold pieces, sorry.
Are you rich as fuck?
We are simple, humble people here. We protect, we attack, we look after each other.
So I'll take that as a no.
No, we don't have currency here.
Hey, I just want to apologize again about that big frog guy.
Grimloss.
Yeah, we're sorry about that. It was probably just a misunderstanding.
Well, Grimloss will come back. And I can lead you to Zunu's temple.
Why are you doing this for us? Just out of curiosity.
Well, like Gava said, if you intend to kill, would have done so already. Zunu is dangerous man, and four of you seem very confident. One or two things happen. Either killers of Grimloss die, or Zunu possibly die. Guessing you're not there to just shake hand.
Maybe we want to get some answers in whatever we have to do to kind of get those answers. We're
Me want answer
prepared.
too.
What do you want answered?
Me want know where my brothers are. My family. What happened
Isn't
to them?
it like they're not here? Where'd they go?
They see Zunu.
Oh no.
Gava not fool. Gava no. If they alive, they come back. But Gava want answer. Gava need to feel better. Closure.
We'll get you that answer, Gava.
Is there anything you can prepare us? You've done so much already, bringing us in, giving us food, but I don't know. We're very confident, but I don't know what we're getting into.
We're also kind of stupid. We're confident with everything.
Well,
So
Donner, let's let's talk about yourself. I have this circlet, so my brain is exploded.
Big smart. That's what they say.
That doesn't sound safe.
It's not safe. It's not.
What you look for before you go see Zunu?
What
What
are
you
we?
need?
Well, it's too early to rest, so I think any sort of healing remedy you may have, any sort of, maybe some sort of map, maybe, I don't know.
Well, me no have map. You can take minute here to rest, hour, but if you want leave, you find me, and I can lead whether it turn into clouds or walk.
So you know where we could get horses? Is that a thing you're like? Is there like a town close by we could swing in?
I mean, they don't have to specifically be horses. Any sort of mount would do.
Mm, we don't have many kind of mount. Mostly stay here. Horse, seen many horse underwater and not come back up.
Okay, all right. So we'll avoid the horse route. Alder, are you still feeling like a hard no on the cloud flying thing? Or
I'm not feeling a hard no on it. My my issue with it is just that it seems as though he doesn't necessarily seem comfortable in utilizing, like knowing exactly where we're going, which is a little bit of a worry. And also that means that that will take out my strongest spell available for the day. So
Well, it sounded like he knew where it was going, just not what the inside looked like. Why don't we just get 90% of the way there, camp for the night, not get swallowed by the thing we just killed, and then the next day we can just walk on in?
I don't know. How's that sound to you?
Gava can bring you to outside.
Okay. Thok, I'm gonna need some holy water again if you got it. Actually, no, I have extra. Just kidding.
Good joke.
Alder, just kind of, it is so funny. Just a by the by, I don't think we should go into this looking to fight Zunu. I understand wanting to be prepared, but if he's as strong and as clairvoyant as it seems he is, probably wouldn't be a great fight for us.
Oh, I agree 100%, but I just got eaten by a fucking frog, and we had to pull myself out of its guts like I got birthed, so
Yeah, you're welcome for that.
I'm a little bit skeptical about not being prepared for situations, so that's just my thought process there.
His name was Grimloss, and he was a nice guy, probably.
We have no way of knowing because he just ate us without asking.
Well, these people all knew
protect
him.
for a very long time.
Yep. No, I understand.
Generation.
It's a long
Understand.
time.
But again, forgive me that it's not for Zunu that I'm trying to be prepared for at this point.
Wait,
Trust me, the last thing that I want is to try and attack someone who is all-knowing. Sounds terrifying.
Sounds like we'll lose kind of fast.
Exactly. I'm not trying to die yet.
I mean, you're young still, I think, right? You're still like a child or something?
Yeah, I'm,
Okay.
going to be 216 soon, so.
Wait, how soon?
Honestly, since getting out of prison, I don't know what day it is anymore, so I think soon. I have no idea.
And Dremel pulls out his journal, and he writes down, Alder birthday soon.
Okay.
Okay, so
Like a
can we
plot.
take a hour break and then go?
We're gonna short rest to get to camp and then long rest and then go?
If we can.
Oh, once we get there, we're gonna camp out.
Yeah, I think what Dremel had said was that he wanted to get 90% of the way there via the cloud fly thing, and then the rest of the way we'd walk.
Or we just go tomorrow.
The next day. I mean, we could go tomorrow, but I kind of want to get going. There's some answers that, I'm kind of looking for.
Right, but the time doesn't change. Either way, we'd be getting into the entranceway tomorrow morning, right?
Yeah, but I think the point of going today means that if we camp out tomorrow night, Alder doesn't drop his spell for nothing.
Oh, that's right. That's fair.
Well, then give me like at least 15 minutes, and then we're good to go.
Do you have to poop? Is that what this is?
No.
No, he takes 20 minutes for that.
Exactly. 25 on a bad day.
Well, I
We
still,
have particular place for that, so
No,
I still say we go ahead and take the short rest time to just kind of unwind, enjoy this meal, and get ourselves mentally prepared for whatever's gonna take us the next 2 days. So
After we do this meal short rest, Gava, can you take me on a tour around your village, town? I don't know your preferred nomenclature.
yes, I can take you around village if you prefer.
Yeah, I'd love to see it. You guys have been so nice to us that I want to make sure you know that we're interested in y'all live.
Okay. Yes, Gava can do that. Yes.
Great.
I'm gonna take 10 minutes, and because it takes 10 minutes to cast, and I'm gonna start casting Prayer of Healing
Okay.
on all of us, and that'll be 19 hit points to everyone.
Okay.
Nice.
So everyone add 19 hit points to your character sheet.
need a short rest anymore.
Yeah, I still do.
Yeah, you got more effed up in the end than I did. Well, you also laid on hands me and stuff.
Yeah.
So
And yet you're the one complaining about getting hurt.
to be fair, I was stuck inside the stomach for longer. That's more so what I'm upset about than being hurt. I never said I was upset about being hurt.
That's just like a big hug. A throat hug.
I think that's different.
I know what I said.
And then
Okay.
the other 5 minutes I'm gonna take donning my armor
Okay.
reluctantly.
Oh
So-
boy.
Slowly but surely, Thought kind of closes his eyes, crosses his arms. Little vein kind of appears on his forehead as he meditates and concentrates as you take your 19 points of healing. And then, very carefully, you see Thok slowly putting on his armor. And Thok, as you're putting it on, you kind of look to a corner and you see Nu, and his kind of has a shoulder resting on inside the hut that you're in. And he's watching you and he goes, "Thought you didn't like that thing."
I mean, did you see how fucked up I got with that damn thing? That weird
I
frog
did.
shit?
Yes. I believe the name was Grimlass.
Well, the Grimlass hurt, and it would have hurt less if I had it on. So I guess the practicalities of it is more important at this time.
So we were done pouting for now.
I'm not pouting.
Sorry, tantrum.
Fuck you.
Yeah. Continues to cross his arms as you feel the all familiar kind of click as you put your arm into the shield, and you have your mace, your chest plate, kind of run your fingers over the emblem, and it feels cold to the touch since you haven't worn it for so long, and usually your body heat generates and conducts heat on this. And it feels familiar but also foreign at the same time because it's been so long since you've worn it. As Thok is donning his armor, and right before Dremel goes on his tour, what are the two of you doing?
I'm honestly at this point, I'm just kind of closing my eyes and just trying to relax, trying to understand the fact of what happened and being, uh, pulled into the frog's mouth. And then I'm also going to have Aya with me, just
Mhm.
checking on her to make sure she's okay and giving her some of the leftover food that we didn't partake in.
And she seems a lot calmer than she's been in quite some time. Um, she does pick the different proteins that are on the floor,
Hmm.
and she seems fairly just comfortable,
Good.
kind of calm. Donner, what you doing?
I am sitting, holding the music box that Vindran made for my son. Just kind of staring at it. Not opening. I haven't opened it yet. I'm just kind of looking off into space. Um, Kind of like look. I guess I'd be looking through it if I
Mhm.
could. But just kind of zoning out and running my hands over the top and whatnot.
Yeah, you're kind of thousand yard staring, boring a hole into the other side of the hut as you feel the different mechanism. You kind of crank the lid and you hear clicks, and it's at one point you get to where it can't click anymore, and you can assume that the music box is wound up all the way before you just kind of palm it, and just you occasionally look down and you see the different craftsmanship that Vindran put in, and it's kind of this deep oak uh, varnish finish to it. It looks like the wood is very, I don't want to say it's brittle, but it looks old, but it looks strong, and it isn't porous. But it's soft to the touch. Um, as you kind of thousand yard stare, as eventually Gava gets up and he goes, um, Dremel, I'm more than happy to show you around the village if you'd like.
Yeah, that'd be fantastic. Any of y'all want to come?
Uh, yeah, Aya seems comfortable. I'll walk around for a little bit.
All right, brother time.
Yeah, yeah, sure.
You two are brothers.
Allegedly.
He doesn't remember because he's the younger brother, but I was there when he was born.
I don't see the resemblance, but Gava not try to assume.
I'm also like 170 years older than you, at least.
Allegedly.
So Gava takes the two of you, and these the village is on is kind of stilted up. They're on these pillars that there are different walkways that are above a certain water level that you can assume if there's any kind of flooding that you would assume during like the summer, they're able to compensate and live comfortably and dry as they can. You see different colored grung folk. You see more green. You see two new colors of purple and blue. As Gava is very respected around here, everyone makes an effort to make sure they make eye contact, greet him. He speaks Grung and introduces the two of you, and everyone seems very pleasant. Um, as Gava is explaining to you the different kind of status structures that they have, he does also break down the Grung's natural talent for poisons, and that each colored Grung is a different kind of effect that can be used as a defense mechanism.
What are the different effects?
And he kind of looks and he goes, "Well, we have different kind of Grung. Um, it depend on Grung color. Gava the only red, pink Grung. Everyone else different color. Um, sorry, give me one moment. I had it here, and then it disappeared.
Like my
He
dad.
kind of explains. He goes, "Green Grung are warrior hunter. Um, they do labor build. Blue Grung, they are artisan, mostly Blue Grung female. Um, Supervise hierarchy or purple Grung. They usually look after blue and green. Um, there are higher Grung orange, like Durin, that are little more strong, and then there is only been a few of us red Grung, which are we are more caster spell
Interesting.
magic.
So you're kind of just born into whatever role you are? Is there any sort of like let's say you wanted to be a fighter, are you allowed to?
Yes, there is other ways of being a warrior, but usually you have to do very painful ritual. Change color. There's only been one gold grung in 1,000 generation.
Wow. What was the gold grung? Or who,
Oh.
rather?
Elite warrior, highest leadership, king.
And you knew him?
Gava C1. Very, very little tadpole. But yes. Very strong. You were asking, purple grung. Purple grung make tired. Blue grung make body feel numb. Stay in place. Orange grung burn. On almost like put hand in fire. And green grung poison.
Is there if this doesn't cross any lines, is there any way we could get some of that poison in case we have to fight Zunu or anything?
Well, poison come from time of duress. Cannot turn on like that. Only, of course, for ritual to change color.
So the poison only comes out when there's a color changing ritual?
Color change ritual or danger. Usually under extreme condition is when we collect color for, but we do not have gold or other red to transform. And most Grung, when tried to do conversion, perish. And we try to take care of one another. But if someone in Grung tribe asks, we try to assist. Very sacred.
I understand. Well,
Understood.
thank you. So
He looks over at Alder. Mm-hmm. Sorry, keep going.
So are all these huts homes?
Yes, all home. We all live, eat, sleep together. We are family.
Do you guys have any like competitive games you guys play?
Yes, we have different game. See who can run fastest, jump highest, who has longest tongue, who is strongest warrior. We have different game to pass time.
All right, but nothing with like a ball.
A ball.
Yeah, like a sphere, like a this shaped thing that you throw.
Gava know what ball is.
Are we racist?
No, you guys just think he's stupid. Meanwhile, he's used like $5 words earlier, and you're like, a ball, it's a sphere.
It's like a circle.
It's like a circle, but it's all the way around. He goes, "What game would you play with ball? Ball is usually like mud ball. Tadpole usually throw at each other, like that game."
Yeah, kind of like that. Like maybe you got two different points where you got a group of people trying to get from one side to the other, and then the other side doesn't want the first side to get there. So then it's just a matter of like passing the ball off and like tackling each other.
That sound like too many breaks in between, and people talk too much.
Well, yeah, that does happen a lot. When we played it up on the mountain, it would usually take about 4 hours, but I think there was only like 10 minutes of gameplay. That was a bad game.
That it sound very long for very short amount of time.
Was my childhood bad?
It could be.
It might have been. We played a different game in the lands I'm from where it's similar to that, only except basically there's like really no rules, and people kind of just beat the crap out of each other while they play, and the play is pretty much nonstop.
That doesn't sound like a sport. That sounds like mugging.
It really is. Yeah.
Okay, so while this interaction's happening,
Part of it's literally called a scrum.
Jesus Christ. I'm going to rip your ears off, Rugby. So Donner and Thok, you kind of are alone contemplating your individual kind of, I don't want to say issues, but issues. As, Donner, you're 1,000-yard staring, and Thok is 1,000-yard staring at Manu while he's putting on his armor, as Manu is just kind of asking him questions that I would assume Thok wouldn't really want to answer, like, why did you take it off in the first place?
Do I hear Thok talking to himself?
If Thok responds to Manu, yes, you would hear him talking to Manu. But that's a Manu question.
I'll just kind of speak up and just kind of see Thok. I assume he's making some noise, putting this on. Looks good, big guy. Putting it back on the. How does it feel?
Heavy.
Heavy as the crown, my friend. It could be worse. Could be for that other god that you don't like anymore. At least this one you still like.
Mm-hmm.
As you're looking, you see Manu, and he's like,
You were super convincing when you said that. I want you to know.
No, you're right. It could be worse.
What's going on? What's going on in your head?
I don't know. Like, I'm just confused between everything that happened back in the town and everything that's happening with the what's his face, the Crimson, what's her face, and all of them.
Yeah.
I'm blanking out.
I'm not going to give you any hints.
I mean, Thok ain't smart, so it's fine. But you know who I mean.
I know who you mean.
And then I'm still like conflicted because Manu keeps asking me questions that I don't really feel like answering right now.
Sorry, Manu keeps asking you questions?
Yeah, I've told you I could see him. I don't
Yeah,
understand.
is he here?
Yeah, he's just leaning against the wall, arms crossed, being an ass. But
I mean, in what I know about Manu, which is not much, it doesn't seem like him. But, I saw him when we were under a spell, so I don't think that counts.
yeah, he doesn't know why he's still here, and I kind of want answers.
Can I tell you something I'm looking forward to?
Go for it.
So, You have a boat, right?
I do.
It's a big boat.
Pretty big. It's about
Okay.
100 feet long. That's what a
It's
yeah.
it's bigger than that.
Wait, I think I have it here, but yeah. I have a
So I
boat.
can't wait to get on the boat and see your big dumb face light up because I know that's where you're going to feel the most comfortable. And
Well,
I know you're not accustomed to being on land this much as a pirate, but very excited to see you in your element, Captain Thok.
oh, thanks. Um, uh, I'm excited too, but I'm pretty sure the first thing that you're gonna see me on the boat is getting slapped. But um,
You're about to buy that angry lady, right?
yeah, her amongst others.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, but it's fine. They do what I love. I can take it. But yeah, I'm not. I've been away from the sea way too long, and I'm ready to get back there. Hopefully, this Zunu guy can give us answers where the hell we can meet the ship so that we can get out of at least this continent, country. I don't even know how big this area is.
I mean, thankfully, I think Alda can have us travel some wide distances in a short period of time. He seems to be very good at that, helping
Yeah.
us, you know.
Yeah.
But, you know, you remind me a lot of me when I was younger. And I see a lot of a young me in you in the way that you don't want to let people down.
It's
And it doesn't matter if it's one of us or your God, you don't want to let anyone down. And eventually, Thok, you got to let yourself off the hook because you can't save everyone all the time. You
no,
can
I
just
know.
do your best.
I know. And some wounds take longer than others to heal. And the ones that take the longest are not the physical wounds, but the ones that are deep inside ourselves. And I know over time I'll be fine. It just, I don't know, it just hit close to home. Not being able to save Alejandro or just, I don't know. But I'll be fine. This is first step, right?
First step.
First step.
You say you say you're going to be fine, and Thok, one of these days I think you're going to say it and you're going to believe it, because it doesn't seem like today's that day, but soon.
Yeah, maybe tomorrow.
Maybe tomorrow.
I got the armor on, so that's one step.
One step out of the way.
Exactly. But thanks, Honor.
And don't listen to Monu. He doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about.
I mean, sometimes he does. It's just
Know a lot of things.
He doesn't
like
know
what?
anything.
I look at my new. Like what?
What would you like to know?
I mean, I've already asked. Like, why are you here?
If I knew that, I wouldn't be here, would I?
Okay, then.
So that's the main thing you want to know.
Well, I'm curious, honestly. Like, I kind of want to know more stuff, but there's a time and a place.
Yeah. Sure.
Is he like gonna follow us onto your boat? Like, can he
God, I hope not.
be there?
He probably will, even though he hopes not. We'll find out.
Gonna be-
Like, because
Be like-
sometimes
With you when you sleep? Is it like a cuddle situation or?
no, sometimes he's there and sometimes he's not. Like, I've looked around sometimes and he's not there, and then, hey, where do you go when you're not there?
I don't know. I cease
yeah.
existing.
He doesn't know.
He's pretty aloof. I think he's just playing hard to get.
Well, I already have someone, so
Even harder to get than.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the water boy.
anyways. Well, yeah. What next?
I don't know. I know we want to get Noldra back home to that one place where you were and she was and you guys were. I don't remember where that is. So
Flamingo Bay.
yeah, that one. That sounds familiar. I know you want to get there, but I'm really hoping to get to this island of the Storm King's Isle. So
Well, Naldra's in good hands, so I figured once it's gonna take us a while to figure out where exactly we are for the ship to get back here, and I kind of want to see if I can find a map somewhere that will give us a more detailed, I guess, view of the area. But I don't want to bring Naldra back to her family until we know for sure the most direct route and the safest way, because I don't want to put her in harm's way, because traveling by sea is not always the safest.
yeah, the island of the Storm Kings. Is that right, DM? That's correct, right? That's what I have written down, and I don't know if that's right.
It's the island of the Stormlord.
Stormlord. Sorry, I have to make. Okay. The Isle of the Stormlord is surrounded by like a big storm, so not a great time to have a child on board.
Have I ever heard of such an island? Like a 7 years at sea?
Go ahead and roll a intelligence check. See if you can remember anything, any kind of talkings about it.
Come on. Roll 20, roll my die. Oh no, natural 1. -1 if it matters.
No. You think pretty hard. There are many different kind of island chains. You're not too familiar with one about storms. That's something you would probably ask Tibrin about.
Alright. No. Oh, he didn't ask me. That was me just being curious. Got it. Cool.
Exactly.
Yeah, but no, that's probably not where we should take a child.
No, but I'd like to get there as soon as we can. I'm just kind of looking for answers about my family and my life and all the things that are important to me. Whatever. It's fine.
Yeah, for sure. Like because once I get back to the ship, I will have found what I have been looking for, which is my family, all on that ship. And so once we got on there, I would love to repay all of you by assisting you complete whatever goal you have. So we can find this storm island, and we can help Dremel with finding the man in Crimson.
Yeah, that's the guy. Yeah.
And then we can help Alder. What the hell was Alder's thing again?
Alder just wants to live in his treehouse or something. I don't know. Eat more sticks. I don't remember. It's not important.
Well, I think it'll be good for Alder to kind of experience a different aspect of nature. Like, I know that he's comfortable in the woods, but maybe being on sea, maybe he'll love it. We'll see.
You guys are bad.
I hope he loves it.
We're bad news?
I said you guys are bad. Manu goes, you guys are bad friends.
We're not bad friends. We're great friends. We are expanding his horizons.
What's Alder's last name?
LTA.
You don't hear him. Shut up. I feel like he's asking his last name.
The Peltier. No, that's what's his face. You know what? I don't even know my last name.
Lyndon, actually. You want to be?
I knew it started with an L.
He told us it was Lyndon. He's got a different last name.
I mean, again, I have like 20 of them, and I don't even know what my birth given one is, so it's fine.
Okay.
But
Just saying.
anyways,
So,
should we join the other two, or should we just wait for them here?
I'm gonna hang back and just kind of sit. I'll try some of this Dremel meditation he keeps talking about.
The like weird mushrooms he's looking for?
No, meditation is just kind of like sitting and trying to center yourself and relax, kind of.
Okay. Maybe I should try that too. I'll
Yeah.
clumsily attempt to like sit lotus style and
yeah.
copy what Donner's doing.
And you kind of like look at him, and Manu is to the right of you as Donner is to the left, as he's also in a crisscross position. Looks at you, and he goes, "You have to keep your back straight."
Like this.
Yeah.
Ugh. That's not comfortable or relaxing.
It's not supposed to be comfortable or relaxing. You're concentrating.
How can I concentrate with you whispering in my ear every 2 seconds?
Fine, don't. Fine, I won't give you my fucking help.
I mean, if you're helping, then help. Like, I just thought you were just criticizing.
No, you don't want the help.
No, I want the help. I just don't want your criticism.
Donner,
Hey,
Doc
if
is
you guys
looking
are
to
gonna
his
fight,
right.
if you're gonna fight in here, can you like? I'm just trying to focus, and I'm only getting one side of the argument, so.
Fine. Crosses his arms and he closes his eyes as breathes through his nose, outside of his mouth. Just keeps centering himself as Donner, you kind of sit, concentrate. You're very aware that your tongue is in your mouth. Like you're very just aware. You're like, okay, and then you start manually breathing. You're like, okay, I have to breathe in and breathe out. Shit. And then it's little things that your body unconsciously does that you become conscious of as you're
Right.
trying to kind of focus, but distracted by other things, literal other things. As Sock, you get a similar kind of sensation. You're like, I can hear every time my shoulder creaks, every time I breathe in. Little things like that. As the three of you attempt to meditate, we'll move back to the Grung tour. Jerem Alder, what do you want to know about the town?
Well, I was really hoping they had sports.
They do have sports.
Well, sports that would induce a state of panic or anxiety and maybe would give us that poison. But I'm not going to force it.
I was going to say, you can attempt to manipulate and teach them a sport, but I don't know if you would do that.
I don't think we have the time. Aren't we trying to only do it for like an hour?
Yeah, we won't be here long enough.
Yeah, so I'm not even going to go down that path.
They seemed very uninterested in rugby, so.
Yeah.
Not a fan. Not a fan.
No, why would they want a sport where all they do is beat the shit out of each other to try to get a ball on the other side?
To be completely honest, I still don't get it, but I'd love to watch it.
It's fair.
So I guess, knowing that all the huts are just people's homes, there's not like shops or stables or anything like that, right?
Yeah.
I guess
You have different barracks. You occasionally see different barracks where they keep their spears and their swords and their bows, but they're not big swords. They're I wouldn't even say they're short. They're like daggers on the end of sticks, that kind of thing.
Oh, and good old knife stick.
Yeah,
knife stick.
A good old pointy sharp stick.
It's Gava, right?
Gava, yes.
What's figure we got a little bit of time. What's your favorite spot around town?
Favorite spot. Okay. And he kind of leads you off the beaten path and kind of brings you through this murky water before there is just this kind of very flat, even plain of, and it looks like there's grass growing, which is something that's not very common in the swamp. There's a little break in the swamp ceiling, the roof ceiling of the trees. As there's kind of just this very nice light that comes around, and occasionally you see different kinds of swamp flower and swamp lilies that are growing within this plain. And he goes, "Used to come here when I was a boy. Enjoy it. It's not as murky as rest of swamp. Nice change of pace."
So,
Oh.
Go ahead.
I would say Alda would kind of notice that and kind of just gesture over to him to be like, would it be all right if I kind of took a quick little swim in here, or is that like against the rules?
No, then you see him and he puts his hand out. He goes, "Please, by all means." And the around the plane, you could actually see where the murky water becomes a little bit clearer and it's a little bit cleaner as you kind of dip your not your torso, your bottom half in before it's kind of coming up to your chest as you kind of lay down, and it just feels cool as opposed to the murky water, which is kind of this mucky, hot, almost thick kind of water.
Yeah, it's basically what I bathed in after I got out of the frog stomach. So
Correct.
that's part of the reason why I wanted to kind of get in and actually clean myself well.
Yeah. So you take the time to do so, and as you do that, Dremel, you're kind of looking around and you're seeing the different flowers as Gava is just kind of just looking at you guys. He looks kind of pleased that he brought you here and seems content.
You, I guess this is more to DM. You mentioned that there was a certain spot where it kind of opened up and you could see the sky above.
Yeah.
Is it almost like a ray of light into a certain area?
Kind of, but not like a pointed area, not like a Wizard Steve area.
Right. But just like
Yeah.
it's more well lit.
Yes, it's more well lit.
All right. So I make the rounds. I look around at the different vegetation and flowers and mushrooms.
Go ahead and roll a investigation check because you're looking for mushrooms.
22.
There are no mushrooms in this area.
All right.
It's a very nice, clean area.
Seeing that there are no mushrooms, I go to the well-lit area and I look over to Gava in a look of approval to make sure I'm not doing anything to piss him off.
And you see any smiles, any gestures.
I nod back. I sit down in the cross-leg lotus position and kind of get into my meditative position. But instead of looking forward, I look up into the sky with my eyes closed, trying to just absorb, not just center myself, but absorb the energy of the swamp, of just the world, and just kind of become more than I was.
Okay.
And I would also...
Mhm.
I'm sorry. I would say I would also point out that Alder is... he's basically just kind of floating in the water. So whatever Dremel's doing, he's actually not paying attention to. So...
Okay. So, and you kind of see Gava, and he kind of goes to the side, and you see him, he puts his webbed feet into the water as he splashes a little bit. And Dremel, go ahead and roll a wisdom for me.
Save or check?
Save.
17.
17. You kind of concentrate, and you breathe in, and you start smelling the all familiar smell of wood burning, and you feel the heat of fire kind of against your chest as you hear different screams and cries, and the right side of your face twitches a little as you kind of breathe back out. Now, Alder, as you're swimming, you kind of feel the temperature of the water get a little bit colder as eventually you kind of move and the water starts slowly becoming a little bit of a slush as it seems that Gava has taken his feet out of the water as he's looking over at Dremel, And Drummel, there's this whole Alder. You see this whole kind of just. It's almost like there's a small snowstorm just kind of going off of around Drummel's body as his face is kind of contorting. As Drummel, you keep hearing the noises, and you slowly start hearing the language of your people. You hear different words of runt, unworthy, foul blood. As you get angrier and angrier before this kind of hailstorm, you see Alder. You actually see like little bits of little less than a golf ball size of ice just start pecking down around where Drummel is kind of meditating. And Gava looks over at you and he goes, "This is normal for him."
I'll be completely honest, I know he has a morning routine, but this is the first time I've seen this.
This is not the routine.
I mean, I know he does it, but I've never watched him do it. So, since I've never watched him do it, I didn't know that this is kind of what happens. I'm not gonna lie, the cool water was refreshing for me, but I'm sure it was a shock for you.
Well, it's not water anymore. It doesn't get cold here. As you slowly see that the slush is slowly starting to become more solid as ice crystals are forming around it.
It'll melt soon enough, but just gonna kind of let him run his course before. I don't want to interrupt him right now.
Interrupt. And you slowly start seeing there's like frost that is emanating from where Dremel is sitting, and it's slowly creeping outwards from this plane of just grass. And he goes, "It looks like it's spreading."
Yeah, it does look that way. Crap, I feel like I've learned my lesson in the past that when someone's meditating like this, you don't want to wake them. Crap. Let's just give him another moment or two before we try and wake him. Do you think everything will be okay?
I don't know. We don't usually have ice here.
Yeah, no, you're right. And I don't want to risk anything bad happening to your habitat. Crap. And I'll kind of start slowly approaching Dremel.
Okay. So you start slowly approaching, your hand goes out, and it starts getting battered and buffed by these different ice crystals that are forming around him and are whipping around him. As Dremel, you hear more of the filthy blood. In your language, you hear "not worthy." Whoa. You okay? I think he's good, boss. You're okay, right, big brain boy? As different members of your people are speaking to you, as Alder, you kind of put a hand out and your hand goes on this. It's almost like you're touching just pure ice, like dry ice. Your hand starts crackling a little bit as Drummel, your eyes kind of shoot open and you see this little snowstorm kind of forming around you, almost like you were shaken into a snow globe as it all just immediately just falls down. And Dremel looks at you, Alder, and you see in the corners of his eyes, you kind of see this maroon creeping up a little bit. And as he looks at you, and it slowly just creeps back as it starts getting warmer around you.
You all right, big fella?
Yeah. And I look around. Does everything look destroyed? Like, how much damage did I do?
You see around you, you see that the area you were sitting in, maybe about 2 or 3 feet out, you do see that there is a kind of a frost. You do see that the water around the little plain here is not flowing anymore, that it has seemed to solidify to an extent. But it doesn't look like you've destroyed this area. Not all the flowers are gone. Some of them are frozen, almost like frozen in time. They're almost just perfectly kind of poised. As Gava's kind of looking at you with his staff up, and he looks at you quizzically as you see that Alder is shaking his hand, and you actually see water and slush coming off of his hand as he kind of just shakes it.
I look at Gava. What does his face look like?
he looks confused. He doesn't look angry. He's just very concerned.
I dart between the two of them, and I'm so sorry. Fuck. And I stand up and just muttering to myself, and just fucking unworthy little runt can't do any. And I'm walking away, just muttering to myself.
Okay. And immediately your feet kind of get hit with this slush, and you feel this jolt of cold as you slowly start stubbornly walk through it as it slowly becomes warmer and murkier as you slowly start walking back to where Thok and Donner are. As Gava kind of looks at you, Alder, as Drummel kind of gets up and pushes forward. You sure that isn't often? He seems upset.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna let him unwind a little bit, and maybe me and him will have a talk at another point, just to make sure that he's okay, because that definitely seems. I mean, I know he likes to give me shit here and there, but that definitely doesn't seem like his character that he normally portrays. So a little worried, but he'll be all right. He's a strong guy.
Yes. I think it is time to reconvene. It has been quite some time. Your friends should be prepared, yes? Now?
I would certainly hope so.
So it takes you another 15 minutes or so. Don or Thok, what are you guys concentrating while meditating on? Or are you guys just trying to center yourselves before meeting Zunu?
I'm thinking about my family and getting to the island of the Storm Lord in hopes that they are there or, somewhere in the vicinity of Valoria as well. Just, hoping for some information here shortly.
Okay. And Thok?
I'm concentrating on the previous vision I had in the sand and the voice that I heard. Try to concentrate on that.
Okay.
And understand it more.
Okay. And you try to go to that place of the rose quartz sky and that deep breathing. But it's hard for you to kind of grasp with all of, like I said, the awareness that you're feeling, especially with feeling how heavy your armor is. Eventually, you start hearing the sloshing, wet footsteps, very heavy, as Drummel, you kind of part open the curtain doors, as you see that Thok and Donner are crisscross applesauce, kind of mirroring what you've done in the past, as they kind of both look at you, and you're still a little shaken up. And as Drummel kind of comes in, Donner and Thok, you notice it's slightly cooler now that Drummel is there, where it hadn't been.
He's a cool guy.
Before he left, it wasn't cooler.
Hey, look, we're doing our best Dremel impersonations.
Hey, you're taking after Big Brain Mountain Boy.
Yeah, I figured, I've heard you talk about doing it so much that I would give it a shot. And just kind of trying to ready my mind for Zunu.
Only way to start the day. Y'all done, or you want me to dip out for a minute?
How do I know when I'm done?
You get up.
Okay, and I'll get up.
And as he does that, I reach out a hand to help him up.
Okay. And you do, and Donner, you kind of feel the forearm, and it's almost like grasping onto a block of ice as you kind of lift yourself up. As Drummel, you kind of feel the warmth of Donner's hand kind of envelop around your forearm as you pull each other up. And once again, there's that moment of that that you kind of got when Donner kind of picked you up, and you're just kind of like that uncomfortable feeling.
Yeah. NASCAR.
Here they're not
okay? Everything all right?
Yeah. Thok. And I'll reach my hand out to help him up as well.
Yeah. And Thok, you feel this ice once again, like you're holding on to an icicle as you grab on, and as you kind of move your hand off, it almost like sticks, almost like when warm skin is on something that cold.
I lick him. No, I'm just kidding.
It's a dremsicle.
Triple dog dare ya.
Stuck. But no, Dremel is a lot colder than a normal person and or Dremel has ever been.
You okay there?
Yeah. What are you
You
talking
seem
about?
you seem a little chilly.
No, I feel right as rain.
All right. Then I mean, if he says he's all right, do I believe him? Actually,
Do I believe him?
Dremel, are you lying?
No, not really. I think I'm over the experience.
initial.
Yeah.
Yeah. He looks a little shaken up, but he's not lying to you.
okay. Cool.
So these frogs are poisonous, by
where's-
the way.
Oh, is that
Uh-oh.
what? Did they take Alder as a sacrifice?
Oh shit, that would have been funny though. No.
Where is Alder?
I'm here.
Yeah. A few moments later, Alder and Gava kind of walk in as you kind of hear like, "Oh shit, that would have been funny. Sacrifice."
Sacrifice.
Sacrifice.
We were just talking about sacrificing,
Our lives to our gods.
to things. What if we don't have a god? What if we're just one with all the gods?
I'm pretty sure you have a god, because, like, you told us about it.
So I'm just trying to be more like Dremel. He says stuff like that, and I'm very motivated to open my mind's eye or whatever.
I kind of whisper over to Donner and say, when in doubt, just say that.
Okay.
And Gava looks at the four of you and he goes, "We are all ready, correct?"
Yeah,
Yeah, I
I
need
think
a.
so.
Where's Dusk?
In his
Dusk-
mind's eye or whatever.
I would say your your horses are tied up. They are comfortably kind of on this very level piece of land. None of the Grungs are very interested in the horses, but they're not antagonizing or anything like that.
Because like, are we leaving the horses here, or like, are
I
we
mean,
coming back here?
I think Alder can bring them with us. I don't think we need to leave them here if we don't want to.
Well, Gava made it seem like bringing the horses was a bad idea, as far as terrain goes.
Yeah, I bet they'd be safer here.
Well, I guess we gotta
Let's
come
leave
back
'em here.
We gotta drop off Grung anyways after we talk to or deal with Zunu, right?
Yeah,
So
makes sense.
yeah, I guess it's the safest. Alder, do you mind telling the horses that they will be safe here? I know that you have a affinity with animals that I kind of don't.
Did we get all of the horses back? Because I know they ran away. We still lost
It's
one.
yours,
You,
and it's
it's
yours.
two.
And
You only
Doc.
have two.
Yeah, we only have
Okay.
two horses. Yours
So-
is one of them.
Yeah, so it's mine and Doc's that are left.
Yes.
Hey,
I just
Alder,
don't want them to think that we're abandoning them.
Yeah, what's up, Drem?
can you still do that tree thing?
I can.
Maybe we should do that to get Gava back here.
Again, it's turn us into the wind, or
Oh, does that take
travel
too much
through the
energy?
trees. It's one or the other.
Gotcha.
For one a day.
Correct. But
Well-
I have to make sure that I have it prepared. Right now, I'm currently not prepared to do that one. I can only do the wind walking currently.
Gotcha.
Well, we can always. What is it? You said that you have to like kind of study the trees. Is there one around here big enough? Like, if anything, we can obviously fly there today, take a long rest, and potentially try that out tomorrow. Coming back.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely could. It's nice. Nice to do that instead, because I don't have to use holy water in order to do so. I just have to be familiar with the tree that we're traveling to. So which means I really just have to have seen it and know what it looks like. That's about it.
In worst case, if there is no tree that we can travel back to, I have holy water, so I can always
Yeah.
just give you a vial.
So same plan, just with an extra tree.
Maybe. I think we just fly. Why not?
Oh yeah, I'm not saying we change the plan. I just meant that if we could have Gava have a safe passage back to his wonderful village, maybe we could expedite that for him. Unless Gava, you want to hang out with us or come into the
Could you
dungeon.
plant your staff thing and make a tree?
I think that it would be better suited to have with me.
Then never mind on what I said.
Gava can be quiet.
Yeah, you gonna come in with us?
Gava said he need answer.
Yeah, I was gonna say you mentioned that.
So this is great. We're on the same page. Let's go.
Let's go.
Donna wants answers, just like Gava.
We are the
So-
same.
I'm a barbarian. So Gava goes out quietly, and he goes, "We'll meet you in center. I just need to tell Parrish and Durin they are in charge while I am gone. Once again, nephews, they are sweet, but dumb." As you hear the very gentle clicking as the four of you convene. It takes less than 5 minutes as Gava kind of comes back, and he goes, "Okay, how'll this work?"
All right. So basically, what's going to happen is it's just the five of us.
Kiss
So
Alder on the mouth. Twice.
What?
we let the person that's doing the spell talk. Thank you.
When do we kiss you then? If you're not gonna stop talking, like.
I mean, you can start walking if you want to get there. I'm trying to help you get your information. This isn't information that I currently need, so why don't you shut it? All right. Okay, so what's going to happen is I'm going to go ahead and combine some holy water and this flame here, and it's basically going to corporeolate us into a gaseous form, and we're going to start flying through the sky at a very, very quick pace. So I want you to basically, since you know where we're going, you and I will be in the front so that you can help guide us to our location. So if it's not that far away, we'll, potentially be there within an hour, I guess. I don't know how far we have to travel, but
Point of information.
Yeah.
In 8 hours, we can fly 272.7 miles. So just throwing that out there for your
thank you for
calculations.
the math out there.
Yeah, this is to DM.
Okay.
You just broke Justin.
No, I didn't. I was trying to be Gava for a second. And he looks at Dremel and he goes, "Why you ask me for mushroom? He has mushroom."
Who has mushroom?
Points at Alder after Alder makes this giant explanation about turning into a cloud and then flying.
No, that's a different kind of. That's not a mushroom. That's more of a cloud. Sometimes clouds are in the shape of mushrooms, but those are not the same thing. Generally, you want to stay away from those mushroom-shaped clouds, but that's for another time.
Those are usually bad.
Why?
I mean, a mushroom-shaped cloud would destroy this entire village.
They're poisonous.
Oh, got it.
And then I lean over to Alder. Sometimes you just gotta simplify it for him.
Gotcha. All right, so, Gava,
Okay.
you ready?
Ready.
Okay, everyone else has been through this already, so they've already experienced it.
Yes.
All right, everybody. Let's start sprinkling holy water around, and then I cast Produce Flame to kind of just shoot it onto the ground,
Mm-hmm.
and cast Windwalk on the group.
Okay. So, the five of you slowly start becoming the end of Infinity War as you start dusting and you start turning to this giant cloud of vapor as you turn into this free flowing air water vapor. It takes about, I would say, 2.5 hours before the very pink front of this cloud guides you to an area as the five of you kind of reform. Obviously, all of you have been through this, so I'm not going to make you make con saves, as he's going to make one. And he, Gava looks a little less pink and a little more green as the five of you slowly start to materialize. As he's kind of holding on to the stick, and he goes,
That tends to happen if you haven't experienced this before.
"No, Gava has not experienced this before."
It was cool though, right?
Man, Gava, it sure seems like you're in distress.
Why don't you give Gava a hug?
I don't know if I should.
Why? Gava's stressed.
Well,
Give Gava a hug.
I put my arms out
Well-
skeptically.
And he walks past you. And he goes, Gava take you to fast-paced Gava C family. There is a small decline door. That is where Zunu lay. As he kind of marches forward as the four of you kind of relay back. It's less marshy here. It's less of a water kind of swamp, and it's more of that mucky mud as you're kind of going through it. It's to your ankles, depending on how tall you are, almost to your calf, as you see Gava walking on top of it. Like I said earlier, he's able to walk on water. The next 20 minutes are a little tense. It's a little quiet before you kind of come to this overpass where you see these two statues made out of and carved out of onyx, as you see different vegetation that's just been kind of wrapped around it. It looks like it hasn't been touched for many, many, many years. As Gava kind of freezes and he goes, "Get between that."
That smells like a trap.
That is door.
Why do they always got to use onyx?
It's the most menacing of materials.
It's a very scary looking.
Yeah, it's just so overplayed. Like, try
Are you-
obsidian or, like, I mean, even granite.
I mean, I used to have a onyx mace.
Were you trying
That's
to scare
fun.
people?
Sounds kind of cool.
No, this mace turned onyx when I first died, and then it turned back when I second died. I don't know. Anyways, besides the point.
You are full of surprises.
Gava's just looking at the four of you.
So do we just walk between the statues? Do we
Come.
want to tread with caution?
Not
And-
today.
Gava looks at you. He goes, "Come," and he starts walking in between the statues. Kind of slowly hobbles over, and you actually see him slowly start walking down this incline.
Shit, I thought we said we were going to rest for the night before we went in.
Yeah, what are we doing?
Turns out Connor just wants to go.
Should we tell him to stop?
Gava.
And you hear Gava go, "Yeah."
What happened to the plan?
Gava, forget plan. What was plan?
The plan was to wait one more night so we could all be well rested just in case something went down.
That is good plan. Are particularly safe an area by Zunu?
I don't know. That's something you would know. Also something I wish you would have said before we left.
And you see him kind of come back up. We can attempt to sleep. We just need to be quiet. No fire. Gava sit here for 2 days without blinking. Wait for family to come back. Different predator in area.
What kind of predator?
I say we go inside.
And he goes, different snake. Bigger than Gava. Almost big as Grimlas. Different kind of dog. Just have to be quiet.
Well, I don't want to die.
I don't think Alder wants to get eaten again either.
Not entirely, but it's
Hey.
also imperative that I think no matter what, we're stuck here for a night, regardless. Whether we go in tonight and come back out, or stay the night and go in the morning, I can't get us back until tomorrow. So,
I think we take our chances with the guy that people come to see, and not the beasts that are looking for food.
Hey, Donner, can you flex for me real quick? Yeah, you look pretty strong. I think we're okay.
Perfect.
Thok? Alder?
Yeah.
I hate to say it, but I think it's the best play right now is to just go ahead and just go for it.
Wait, did you just say that Donna was right? Is that what you said?
Not in those exact words, but yeah.
As he does that, I pull out my journal. I said, Alder said Donner was right.
Okay. Gava kind of looks at you and he goes, we go, yes?
Yes, we go.
Apparently.
So the five of you go between the pillars. Thok, as you're the last one to kind of go, you see Manu on one of the other pillars, and he goes, does this seem like a good idea?
Does it ever?
Okay.
I mean, I'm assuming you want answers too.
More than welcome to ask him.
Yeah, let's go.
And Manu kind of goes behind you, Thok, as you two kind of walk shoulder to shoulder. It takes a little bit before you guys get to this very large, it's not even like a full door, it's different kind of interlocking vegetation and vines kind of together. As you see Gava, and he kind of looks it over and he goes, we may need to cut through to open. And he looks back at the four of you as hopefully some of you have sharp weapons like Donner does on his back.
Hey, I have sharp weapons on my back, so I'm gonna start cutting.
Okay. So you start hacking, and as you do, you slowly start going through this very large, dark, ornate tunnel, hacking away at the different vines that have definitely overgrown here. You hear the different kind of cave sounds of dripping and different kinds of water, that sulfuric smell of silt and mud. As very quietly you hear different kind of slithering and the occasional hiss.
I'm gonna touch my chest plate, my leather, whatever the fuck, and I'm gonna cast light on it.
Mm-hmm.
So for an hour, we have light.
Okay.
And I'm gonna say light and orcish as Lightbringer. My mace activates and shines as if the light spell is cast on it.
Okay.
I'll cast
So
dancing lights.
Okay. You have a very well illuminated area. Alder, you're gonna do anything as well?
I'll cast Produce Flame in my hand and just kind of hold up a fireball like, hey, what's up?
Okay. So all four of you have some source of light coming off of you, and you see more of the different caverns. And as you slowly walk through, and Donner, you hack through, the silt and the mud that is the floor slowly becomes more solid. You start seeing this stone and different kind of mineral formations that seems to form a floor. As the four of you are looking around the tunnels, you slowly see this mud start becoming more of this stone. As you see, different markings are carved into it, different depictions. As the occasional breathy whispers, dissonant whispers, grow a little bit more and more. The your mouths kind of go dry as you continue to hack and go through. As you eventually, at the very far end of the hall, you see two glinting points in the dark as light is reflecting off of these.
Do they look like jewels or eyes or?
They aren't basilisk eyes, if that's what you're thinking. Because you would know.
It was a thought.
You would know because you wouldn't
I
be
would know.
moving.
Fair.
As you just hear more, you see it slowly kind of move side to side, bobbing.
And I'll kind of step to the front and I'll say, hello, we seek a meeting with Zunu.
And you hear this breathy kind of sigh come out. And what is looking for Zunu?
I'm Donna. This is Dremel, Thok, Alder, and Gava.
And you hear 5 of you.
Yep, 5.
And you hear and you hear the slithering slightly come closer as you see a very dim visage from the light. And you hear it go, "What color is your hair?"
My hair?
Yes.
I mean, like, right now it's not really washed, so it's kind of brown, but normally it's pretty blonde.
Pretty blonde. That is...
Fairly blonde.
What color is blonde?
It's like yellow.
Yellow. Yellow hair, 5. Yes. Come forward. He has been waiting for you.
It's not at all terrifying.
Donna's going to turn around and be like, this is bad. I feel bad about how this went.
I'm just
and
glad
then he
you.
walks forward.
I'm just glad you have yellow hair.
I'm glad you're in front.
And Gava goes, "Why you say all our name? Why
I
introduce?
freaked out. I panicked.
Me notice." And you hear this voice go, "Quiet, you don't want to wake it." Sorry. And you hear the kind of dissonant whisper of this thing as it guides you through very slowly but carefully through these interconnecting tunnels before it stops moving and you see those glinting eyes looking back at you. You have given this thing a very wide berth. You've given it at least 70 to 80 feet that it sounds like it's whispering to you, but it's almost like it's right next to you talking to you as it goes, "Move forward. He is waiting."
I'll move forward.
Same.
And you see the eyes kind of slink, and eventually they are gone. As the 5 of you come to this physical door, it looks like it's carved out of gold. There are different markings and carvings inside of it, as all is very quiet, and the water is dripping, and there are the distant cave sounds that are echoing through these tunnels.
With all the sources of light that we have, can we see anything?
You see the door, and then you see from where you came, and you see two other tunnels that lead from east to west.
So like a Y split or like a T.
It's like a T split,
All right.
and you're at the center of the T where this door is.
Gotcha.
And the door's closed, or it's open.
The door is currently closed.
I will go to open the door.
You put your hand to it, and it's warm to the touch, and even a little give as you kind of go up to knock, and you see it just slowly starts to kind of open. It creaks a little bit as the smell of copper and bronze kind of hit your nostrils, but you're not sure if it's the door or something else. And
Like
it's
blood.
possibly like blood.
Blood.
Blood. So the five of you walk into this very large room. It's very dark. There are different tables. They're not made out of wood like you would normally see. It's something that's much more archaic and ancient. Things made out of different limestones and different kind of minerals that you would find in this swamp deep underground. As you hear just a very low, a blonde one, black-haired one, blonde, black-haired one, green one, and I don't know what color you all. Pink? Red? I'm sorry, you must forgive me. I have not seen such wonderful color in such long years. As this dissonant voice is kind of coming out from this room.
Does it sound
At a
like the
game,
voice
my
is-
hands are sweaty.
They're very sweaty. They're very moist.
Does it sound like the voice is coming from like directly in front of us, or does it just sound like it's all around us?
It sounds like it's all around you.
Hate it.
I assume you are the great and powerful Zunu.
Oh, you humble me. Great and
Oh.
powerful.
It is an honor to be here in your presence. We've heard tales of your abilities, and we just are here to hopefully beg you for some answers that you could assist us with.
Answers. You seek answers from Zunu. Many people come far and wide for centuries to speak with me. What is in it for me?
I'm gonna pull the tooth I got from Gremlas, like the root and all. Essentially, it's a big short sword.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put it on like the table or stair or whatever's closest to me. And I'll
You're kind of
say-
like in the center of the room, and you have it in your arms or in your hands. Yeah, go ahead and say what you're gonna say.
I just kind of place it somewhere as an offering. This was from the mouth of Grimloss, who we have seen in our travels, who attacked our group, and we defeated. I took this tooth and offer it up to you in hopes that you help us.
And you hear this very like low, breathy, almost scratchy chuckle. Grimlas, I assume you slayed him. Is that, or else you would not have gone close enough for this tooth.
We did. We were victorious in this battle.
What say you, Grung? How does it feel that your god is dead for a sixth time now? Gava is quiet. As the voice becomes more concentrated, you see this very, it looks very humanoid, arm, thicker around the forearms and the bicep, these very long, pointy fingers as it kind of grasps at the tooth, and he goes, "This is a very nice weapon, of course. However, I have no needs for weapons. I want something." as his hand goes back into the shadow. Where my manners, please. Sit. As into the far right of the room, almost like on command, these sconces that don't have anything in them are sort of illuminated by this very dim green, dingy yellow light. As you see these very uncomfortable looking chairs that are made out of like this slab stone. I would say there's roughly about 3 of them. You will have to excuse me. I was expecting this much company, but I do have a lack of chairs.
And I'll kneel to one side.
Mm-hmm.
I'll stay in the front, kind of being the buffer between the group in Zunu, or what I assume is a buffer, because I don't know where he is.
Right.
So you say you're looking for a thing. Is there something we can procure for you, or do you have an idea of something you'd like?
Tell me, what do you like? You said you want information. What is this that you are requiring and risking to procure from me?
We all have different needs and wants. For me personally, I'm looking for some information on how to get home and where my family might be.
Your family. Tell me about
Yes,
your
sir.
family. Father, mother, sister.
My father was a wonderful king. Very well liked. I won't say loved because that's a bit of a stretch. But a good king nonetheless. My mother was beloved of everyone. I have 2 brothers. They're both shit. I have the most beautiful wife you've ever seen. And a son that I think could wrangle the sun if I wanted him to. He was going to be big and strong.
Yes. So, you look to find them again.
Find them and find some information on where they might be, or I have my suspicions. Some clues, maybe.
Clues. And you hear this kind of sighing, and the all-around nature kind of pinpoints as the slow green dingy light across from you. There sits a figure. They're very big. I would say they're very small. They're just a hair smaller than a huge size. As you see these very big, large, scaly arms, you see these eyes that almost look like gator eyes that they don't blink. There's just a slit that kind of goes over them occasionally that remoistens them. The hair, if you can even call it that, seems to be different scale features that are kind of dreaded and very long and placed around its shoulders, as there's also more scale around its face and almost like a dreadlocked beard of just scale. As you see this green and different kind of hues reflecting off the light. And the bottom half of it is this very long serpent bottom half. As you see Zunu sitting there on this very large chair that accommodates him. And the eye slits kind of go over, remoisten. And they slowly drag, almost like taking in as much information as possible as it looks at the other 4 of you. So, he's looking for his family. What can Zunu do for you 4 very handsome gentlemen?
Do we need to tell you? It seems like you knew we were coming. I wouldn't be surprised if you knew what we were looking for.
I know bits and pieces. My gift allows me to look in different material planes, astral, beyond the nine hells. I see the future and the past all at once. It's quite burdening,
I can
but
only go
it
on.
comes in very small quantities sometimes. It's a lot better when you're closer. And he looks at the five of you. I knew there would be someone with yellow hair. Points over at Donna. Green hair. Pink. Black. And green. Different things. Funny thing is, I had this premonition about 50 cycles ago. I never know when you come, but I always know.
Well, then I want to know what you know about the Red King.
Your Red King.
Oh, he's not my king.
Is he?
Nah. But he will be my victim.
Very confident.
It's gotten me this far.
See the eyes drag past Dremel. Looks over at Thok. What do you seek?
Well, I seek my ship, and I seek answers as to why I'm being haunted by an acquaintance.
An acquaintance. And before you can kind of like, there's this uncomfortable silence as this pauses before his eyes drag over to Alders. And what are you looking for, old one?
I guess you can actually see my age. I'm honestly, I'm really not looking for anything. Helping these guys kind of get what they want until I have enough money to get home.
Home. Where's home for you?
I'm hoping to get back to the Jade Abyss.
Jade Abyss. That's not too far from here.
Feels like it's not too far. Just outside of Yetvan.
Yes. Yetfin is a few weeks away. At least, that's what it's called now.
What's that mean?
I've been here for quite some time. And the eyes slowly drag over and he goes, and what would you like, my little froggy friend? And Gava kind of retorts back in his native tongue of Grung, and you see Zunu. He seems very amused, and he goes, well, if it gives you any comfort, they didn't suffer.
Oh.
His hand kind of goes back into his face. And Gava goes, you think you're full of shit? Me think. Gava think you no see anything. Talk out of your ass.
And Alda takes a slight step to the left.
And Zunu looks at the four of you, drags back over from Gava. He has this grin on his face and he goes, that's fair. You would like a demonstration of what I can do. Yes. Would you like that? As he looks at the four of you.
I mean, sure.
Win in foamy waters.
I mean,
I'm gonna get closer to Gava.
Oh, don't worry. I'm not going to hurt him. I have everything I need from these people right in here. Then he smiles and he goes, it's been a while since his friends, family, sorry, have been here. Been a while since I've had it done a demonstration. And you see him and he arches his shoulders back and closes his eyes. And you actually see the slits kind of move rapidly back and forth before the alligator eyes that he have kind of turns just this pitch white as he breathes in and he starts talking. Now, the voice that comes out of his throat and the way it's manipulated, it doesn't sound like him. He starts speaking this very old language that the four of you have never heard before. However, Donner, you slowly start hearing this feminine voice coming from his chest as you hear the whimperings of your wife going, Firefly, I don't understand my hair. He took my hair right before our wedding. I don't. As you hear the whimperings of your wife and breathes in again. As fuck, you hear this very low, almost gravelly, like someone's raking kind of glass, raking over glass as you hear, well, you're here now. And that's all that matters. We saved Barovia. Will you help me with the Raven Queen? As you hear your old friend, Rufio, escape from his voice. And the four of you hear this because it is in common, but once again, it's not his voice. Breathes in again. Well, I feel like if we get to the top of the mountain, we have more of a vantage point. I mean, he's always had a good mind for these kind of things. I don't know what you're talking about. He doesn't know what we're doing, Sada. But just let him go up the mountain. As this is in your native tongue, Dremel, as you hear your old friends of Barbet and Seder talking to each other. Breathes in one last time as you hear whoever speaks Elvish. Alder, I understand that you have no interest in the family business. Your mother, Solana, will be very disappointed, but I think you will do better mentally if you exiled yourself for the next 100 years. Get your mind back, and then we can have a discussion about where you sit in this family. And don't have a tantrum. It's unbecoming on you. As Zunu breathes back in, he goes, like I said, I think I was two people for a second. So, how's that for a demonstration? As he leans back, tired.
What do you require?
Leans forward. There's another temple given to the lizard folk. They have something that has been of interest of me for quite some time. They are these slabs. Information about very old gods of theirs. I'd like to know about it. More information is what I desire. The only thing I have left in these very tired old eyes. They guard it very heavily. I'm more than happy to give you the location, but it'd be easier if I showed you. And he puts his hands out. So you would have to trust me on this.
I'll step forward,
I will too.
grab his hand.
I just heard my fucking dad. I'm stepping forward.
Before I grab
So-
his hand, I say, "Is this where you sent your other guests?"
They never usually get this far. And he smiles and he goes, I usually feed them to my subjects. But you lot, you interest me. And he looks over at you, Donner, and he goes, there's too much scar tissue there. I'm afraid it might get lost. You understand, of course.
Of course.
Brings his two hands over, and Alder and Dremel, you're there. And
Correct.
kind of smiles, and he goes, please, who would like my knowledge?
Donner, you feel like going first?
I will.
And Alder kind of, you shudder as he goes, now this won't hurt, I think. Little bit of humor for you.
You guys have
As he-
more important stuff than I do.
And you feel these very large hands envelop the other sides of your head as you breathe in, and you start feeling something poking and prodding into your head before it finally goes into this very dull pain in the front of your brain. You start feeling a little bit weaker as this knowledge comes into your head. You find this specific location that he wants you to go to. He knows the layout of it. He knows what the complete architecture is as he gives you this pinpoint and full detailed explanation that you just suddenly know. As his hands lift. I would much very appreciate those slabs. As he leans back. Very interesting things in your very short 200 years.
215 if you want to be exact.
Well, 215 4 months and 6 days to be exact. As he smiles. Of course, if you want to be exact.
That's not scary at all. And then I just turn
No.
back to Dremel and I say, Dremel, I guess my birthday's not soon.
You do know if I wanted you dead, you'd be dead, yeah?
That's why I volunteered to go first.
I only give one. First one's always free. Now my slabs, please.
Okay.
And you see him and kind of gestures with this very large clawed hand, and he goes, Ta-ta. Have your questions ready for me when you come back.
How many questions do we get?
You want to push your luck, you better prioritize.
So was that 3 per person?
You can hope. And he says something to you that your two friends said to you in their voice again. And it's big brain boy. He points at his forehead. Go.
And I follow Alder, start to walk away.
Gava is already very shaken up. He's kind of side by side with Alder as Thok and Donner, you're kind of there. Who's the last one out?
Me.
Who said me?
I did. Donna.
Thok, Thok, you kind of take a moment And he looks at you and he goes, in Orcish, run now. I grow impatient. As you kind of grit, and Manu stands next to you, and you actually feel his hand on your chest as he kind of pushes you out of the tunnel. And he goes, not gonna join your friends.
I will. I'm the muscle.
Yes, you are.
Just want you to know you're big, but I fought bigger. And the only reason you're alive is because I allowed it.
And he smiles and he goes, information will get you very far in life. And if I was a smart man, which being alive for a very long time, I think I would pick up a thing or two. You don't show your full hand, boy.
You haven't seen anything yet, but I'll see you soon.
You see him and he strokes his forehead and he goes, sure. I haven't seen nothing.
And I'll walk out.
And as the five of you kind of walk out, the echoes of Zunu's occasionally chuckling, and the grating, wheezing voice of his laughter as the five of you eventually come out of the tunnel, and it is pitch black and dark outside, as if you were in there for hours. As Gava looks up at the stars, and immediately he just throws up. And you see him and wipes his mouth. We camp for the night.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. Hey,
we have to.
and I'll kind of like touch him, but not touch him. I'll like be around him because I feel like he's excreting all kinds of poison right now. You stood in front of Zunu and you came out alive.
He nods and he goes, that is first time. I think if I wasn't with you, I would not have left.
Well, you are with us, so.
And you see him and he nods again. I need to think. And you kind of see the stick kind of go off as he slowly walks off as the four of you are outside of these obsidian, onyx pillars, as it's very quiet around Zunu's camp. As the four of you are just disturbed.
So no.
So we're gonna go steal from these lizard people.
I guess that's what we got to do.
Wonder what's on those
now-
tablets.
Well, if the DM would be so kind, since that information was put into my head and it wasn't really expounded upon, what do I know? Where are we going? How far until we get there? And what's the information look like?
So you know the exact location. So granted, you can windwalk your way there. He hasn't been there in quite some time. He was there when it was originally kind of built. So you don't know if there are any new architecture or structures. His knowledge has been updated as much as it can. He did not dispel you the information of what is on the tabs or on the slabs, but he has told you that there are 3 of them.
And he gave us at least a vague description of what they look like, so that way we know what we're trying to steal.
He showed you what they looked like, but he didn't show you what was on them.
Gotcha.
So you know exactly what they look like, you know where it is, and you know how long it will take you to get there.
He mentioned, this is 2DM, he mentioned that it was about old gods, right?
Possibly.
I thought I remember him saying that. Is anyone else?
Yeah, hold on.
It's their old gods, yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
of their old gods.
Okay.
Yeah, and you said it's the Temple of the Lizard Folk. Where is it that we're traveling to?
It is closer outside of the swamp. It's more on solid land. It's kind of where almost the regular plains that you would eventually get to the coast and the swamp kind of meet. So I would say if it would have taken you 2 days to get to where Zunu is. It would take about, if you were on foot, it would take about a week or so. But you have your wind walk, so it wouldn't take what you can guesstimate, maybe more than 3 hours, 4 hours.
So 70, 95 miles away.
Sure.
I did the math.
Fucking calculus boy over here.
Big brain boy, right?
34 miles per hour. What's up?
So we're just walking into a fight then, huh?
I mean, it doesn't have to be that way. Granted, he didn't give me the most updated information as to how it looks because he has not seen it in a long time. Which, by the way, weirdest feeling I've ever had.
So far.
Yeah, well, that's fair enough. I've never had someone actually go into my brain and physically implant information before, so 10 out of 10, don't recommend. But with that being said, he didn't say, I don't have the exact layout because things might have changed, but there is the possibility that we could sneak in there to try and get something, so that way we don't necessarily have to go in straight for an all-out war.
Well, I guess, but I'm not very sneaky.
With this armor, neither am I. I could take the armor off, and I am actually sneakier than normal because of my boots.
It's true. I mean, I can cast things to try and help us. That's always an option. But
Who is...
we also don't know if that stuff will necessarily work. Like, based on what he's saying and how protected this is, I wouldn't be surprised if magic doesn't work around it.
Did he tell you anything about the people? The lizard folk?
Dungeon Master?
Just that the lizard people.
No, just
Yeah,
that the lizard
didn't
people.
expand on it.
Well,
Didn't go much further than that.
I guess we need to do some research.
Hey, Gava.
Gava
He's far
is
away.
fairly away. It's the four of you.
Gotcha. And I don't want to shout right now because he already mentioned how important it is to be quiet.
Hey,
Is
Carl.
Manu nearby?
I would say Manu is kind of next to you, and he's equally as disturbed as you are.
Do you know anything about lizard people?
And he kind of thinks, and he goes, "No, I grew up in a desert."
I mean,
Do I know
there's
anything about lizard people?
desert lizards?
There aren't desert lizards.
Yeah, there are. They live in the sand or stuff.
Sounds like you've never been to Florida.
That's a swamp.
There are regular lizards. There aren't sand people lizards. Not that I've seen.
Watch a Star Wars movie. Good.
Donner, you know, like, you've heard stories about lizard people. It's usually people that worshipped different reptilian and scaled gods, and eventually they were mutated and made packs, and that's kind of where they came from.
Would I know, is this a temple of note? Or...
We're not entirely sure.
Okay.
Hey, Thar.
Hmm.
Think you can contact our resident Iyun follower? Maybe he knows something.
What would you like me to ask? I can do it two more times today. Well, 3 if I cast it at a higher level.
Well, something about the lizard folk. If you can give us any information about them. Alder, did you end up finding a tree back there?
I mean, we were technically in a cave, a tree back by Gava's people.
No, I mean back in White Willow.
Yes, I did.
Or what was the first place we went to? Was it White Willow or the other one?
No,
So
that
goal for Whitelist.
was a White Willow, I believe.
What was the plaza called?
White Willow Plaza,
What was the other one then?
Sun Gulf.
Sungolf, yeah. You found one in White Willow?
Yeah, right outside of White Willow.
Maybe,
Should be big enough for all of us.
Maybe we just go back and see him.
I mean, we'd have to rest up for the night, so I could prepare it for the morning. But
No
we
shit,
would also
man.
have. I'm just saying, we would also be stuck there for a day before we could make our way to the next area. And it took us almost a full 8 hours of traveling to get us to Foaming Waters. So it would take us another at least 2 days of travel to get back to where the lizard folk are after we do it. So that's going to put our travels at least about 4 days before we start getting to our objectives, just
Wait,
from what
why-
I'm gathering.
Why is that? If it's 3 hours from where we are now.
It took us 8 hours to get here from White Willow.
Right.
So if it took us 8 hours to get here from White Willow, we're not going to be able to make it in the same day. So that means we would have to do it a second time on another day in order to get to the new location where the temple for the lizard folk is.
Oh, it's still okay. I got you.
Yeah.
It just makes more sense for Thok to reach out. I don't think going backwards is going to help our cause at all.
No.
The only thing that I would say that makes it useful is if he highly recommends it.
Yeah,
if he-
if he can't get words in 25, then that was kind of my suggestion.
So, ask about lizard people. Is that it?
I mean, start with that. I think. Tell
And let him know. I would say let him know that we found Zunu.
We're here.
We're here.
He's a
All right.
nightmare.
Quote unquote, we in this bitch.
Then, Lord, me and Carlos can never remember people's names. What the hell is this motherfucker's name?
Not
Who am I
gonna give it to you.
contacting?
Who
You
are we
contact-
talking about?
Our local Ioun library.
Mr. Old
Oh
Man.
shit.
Yeah, I'm looking.
So am I.
You are contacting Ishiki.
Yeah.
God damn it.
That's right.
Yes.
Don't worry,
I'm-
boys. That's what I'm here for.
Oh, thank God. I am contacting Ishiki and saying, found Zunu. What can you tell me about lizard folk? Any vulnerabilities?
I love you.
We'll have more questions for you after this.
More questions than answers.
More questions than answers. Send. I know it's shorter than it's
You
that
got
worked
it.
out.
After a few moments, you kind of hear a very startled Ashiki go, "That sounds good. I don't know much, but I can research. Give me till the morning."
I relay that to the group.
Morning it is.
So, is there anything else that we want him to look? I can do this 2 more times tonight. Preferably 1, just in case. I would rather have my higher abilities. In case.
I would ask about the temple and if he knows where these artifacts would be and how heavily guarded they are, or if there's any scripture about you know, how many people live there or lizard folk live there, something along those lines, just to give us some more information.
Do I already have that information?
Just you have the information, but you don't know how many people are there.
Gotcha.
That's
Okay.
And maybe if he can figure anything out about the tablets or lizard folk old gods, I'm a little hesitant to give an all-knowing being even more information.
I'm a little nervous about that as well.
Same.
I'm terrified about everything.
Yeah, we know.
So should I ask him about looking up what these tablets are?
Yeah, what the
Not so
tablets
much.
are and how many people are in the area, or how many people are suspected to live in the temple or work or whatever.
So the lizard folk temple in foaming waters.
So, information about the temple, the tablets, old gods. I think that's all of it, right? Guys? Alder? Donnie?
I think so.
I
Yeah.
think it sounds about right.
Temple, old gods, and tablets. Got it. All right. I go ahead and cast sending again to Ishiki.
Okay.
And say, morning is good. Would you be able to research Lizard Folk Temple in Foaming Waters, residents, their old gods, and stone tablets? That
Slabs?
slabs? Tablets? Slabs? Question mark? And
Tablet, slab, tab? Question mark?
17 words that didn't need to be said.
I mean, there's 25, so yeah.
Oh, you're at
That was it.
25.
Oh, was that
Yeah.
25?
Yeah.
Yeah.
After
Okay.
the third tablet.
After
Stone tablet, slab tablet, tablet.
after a few moments, you get a reply of, "I'm going to need a lot of tea. Give me until the morning." And
He's,
Yep.
he said that he needs a lot of tea. I don't know if that's like, give me the tea, or like tea as in information, or like tea as in like tea.
I think
think
he's
he-
just drinking tea.
Physical caffeination.
Got it. I thought it was like, what's the tea? You know,
oh my god.
I wasn't sure. Like, he's all about information.
So, with the four of you and Ashiki telling you that he will work on it in the morning, we will cut it there. And we will take our first moments in the morning to get ready for the Lizard Temple.
All right.
Something pro.
Tight. Cool. Great.
Guys, thank you so much for hanging out and watching with us this evening. Please like, comment, subscribe on YouTube. Follow us here, favorite, do all that good stuff here. Josh, would you like to yell out people's names that are in our chat stuff?
You know what, Pat? I sure would. A big old thank you to another TV viewer, Atten, Commander Root, Devilin07, Electrical Longboard, Lurks, Srisby, and Storacina. And a double shout out to Devilin07 for following and subscribing for 1 month.
Woo!
And a big shout
Aw,
out to
thank
Gandalf
you.
the Babe for 500 bits.
Woo, bit boss.
Aw,
Woo woo.
thanks, guys. We appreciate you. Hope you guys enjoyed tonight's episode. We will be back here next week with an all-new episode of Dungeons and Dragons and Junk Drawer. So thank you so much for hanging out, and we'll see you guys all back here next week.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.